Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm back with episode 3 of this series of taking this account up to 10 grand. I took 2 trades today, one during the London session and one during the New York session. I'm going to break down each one. We did end up having a blue day today. I ended up we're back up to around 45 in the account. Stupid mistake on my part on one of them, but I ended up basically winning the London trade and then losing around half the profit during the New York session trade. But I could have re-entered that, but I didn't end up doing so. Anyways, so I got into GBP USD in this consolidation distribution area. Basically, let me give you the exact entry. I got in at 27470, so that was right around here. This was my entry. I don't remember which candle specifically I entered because I saw this whole thing happening, and I decided to, I think I got in before this push happened here. Before that push, and somewhere around here. Basically what I was seeing was on the higher time frame, I believe the hourly, all the way back here. We're inside of this candle right here. This candle was the last buy to sell candle that caused this giant dump all the way down to here, right? So price pushed up into that high, and it was showing signs of resisting because it was also basically it did break through the previous day's high, but it was like one of those fake pushes up, like kind of just to grab people's buy stop orders above the previous day's high. So I was expecting this to be the false move and then having this push down. I was expecting the push to come down to 1.27 area, but I ended up getting out earlier. I rode this trade down basically this down to here, somewhere around here, and then I took majority of the trade in profit and then moved my stop loss heavy into profit basically, and I got wicked out stop loss break even right here. So then I kind of used the fib again, and I was expecting to get in at around the 62 level again, but by the time I had drawn the fib, it had touched the 62 and it was already like down here. So I was like, all right, forget it. We basically missed that re-entry, but if that would have been the real optimal trade entry to take. This was more of an aggressive trade, but I just kind of knew based on the higher time frame that we were going to reject here and come down further. But then during the New York session, I was expecting to take this buy position up here. I took my fib like this, and we had that 62, 72, 71% retracement levels kick in. So what I ended up doing was I was on the 1 minute time frame, and when price broke through this level right here, I ended up just taking a buy position because we had broken that 1 minute structure and just threw my stop loss underneath this low. So all this was in profit, and then basically as it was pushing up, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead, throw my stop loss, basically break even, get knocked out, break even, and then I'm like, all right, no worries. I'll take my fib again, and I did it from this body up to the high, and we were rejecting the 62, so I ended up taking another buy position here and then throwing my stop loss underneath this low, because if we had broken the structure and done all this, then price should have went higher. But the market makers had another idea. They wanted to sweep this low one more time, actually to get a little bit lower. On the 1 hour time frame, it was pretty easy to spot what they wanted to touch. and that was this last sell-off candle before the buy move, and it was very little of a difference, but they decided to go for that before they made that push up. So I ended up basically stopped looking at the markets after I took that retracement entry, thinking that it would be fine. But that wasn't the case. They pushed down further, broke back up higher, and then they continued the move. So then if I had noticed that, either I could have re-entered down here, or I would have now I'm talking about would have scenarios. Basically, I won this one push down and then lost this push up, but we still ended up coming in the day in profit. And then basically, if I had stayed looking at the charts, I could have, when we missed the 62 just by a smidge, and we broke this bigger 5-minute market structure right here, this would have been a better trade entry to take, and more accurate, and that would have ended up resulting in a profit on the buy as well. And that would have been a nice chunk of change with only a 15 pip stop loss. You get a 50 to 60 pip reward right back into those highs. So yeah, that would have been the move with GU. But across the board, I think GU and GJ both kind of made similar moves, so you could have stacked on both of those orders. But I was primarily just focusing on GU because I saw this scenario and then the distribution, kind of this Wyckoff style distribution schematic that happened here, and then the markets pushed down. But the good thing is we did end up with a blue day, so any blue day is a good day. Now we just keep pushing to get back to where we were, and then try to get higher than that for tomorrow. I'm gonna try and just mark up a little bit to see what we can potentially do for tomorrow. It looks like the week is still going to be bullish. It's a pretty strong bullish candle, and I think we're going to be trying to target that high right there, which is in confluence with this last buy to sell here. So I think we're going to try and push up above this and maybe even try to go higher than that, because this move right here seems to me like more of like a flash crash type move. So price might try and price is probably going to try and take out that high, and that high as it comes up. And doing a fib, we're sitting around the 62, but I think we may end up coming up to at least the 71 or the 79 before making a drop down if we reject these highs right in here. But the market has kind of shifted in its structure a little bit, because we made this low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then we're expecting here to make a higher high. So more likely than not, we will try and push through this high, whether it's a manipulative move or just a real move. We won't really be able to tell until we get that volume to kick in. Turning back our sessions. On the hourly, since we've already mitigated out of that sell, right? Majority of the money is sitting above here, so I think that high should be taken out, most likely by having a correction down and then pushing into that high. Some scenarios like that is what I would be expecting, since we've already taken the money above here and kind of swept underneath those lows as well. This could end up being some kind of Wyckoff distribution as we push up into those highs, and then end up pushing back down to take out some of these lows. But so far, turn on to our monthly, change this to our monthly candles. Yeah, so last month we kind of ended at the low, created that W, first push up, right? And we have our first consolidation type area, second consolidation type area. We should make one more push up into the high. 1.3 is usually where GU likes to rest, at least as far as I've been trading it. 1.8, it usually likes to come back to that 1.3 level, 1.3 area, and we are trading. Yeah, if we do come above the 1.275 level, right, then quarter theory would verify that as well. That price is going to come to that 1.3 area. So that's what I'm expecting on GU, but you know, that's not advice. Just look for whatever setup that you guys look for. Trade what you see, not trade what you expect to happen, and then you'll be able to figure it out. But those are the moves I made on GU today. We did end up with a blue day, so we're working towards completing this challenge. I do believe we'll be able to knock it out in 2 months. I've never been this consistent with just looking at the markets every day, looking at the same couple pairs every single day, and looking for the same type of scenarios every single day. So the last time I did, which was the month of June, I did pretty well. The month of February, I did pretty well as well. I was able to take a $60 account or so up to 1,000. Majority just trading Bitcoin though. But I want to build this account up a little bit more before we do end up trading Bitcoin, because I see Bitcoin is about to start to make some massive rallies. We pushed out of this. I know the style we trade, we don't really look at trend lines and stuff, but it's good to kind of see what the retail crowd might be looking at. But these are the 3 levels that I expect the highs to get taken out on Bitcoin: 10.5, 12.3, and 13.7 or so. So I expect once we break out of here, once we break out of this and we can come above and hold the level of 10.5, I don't think there's anything to grab back from here. And this after we break through this phase, market's going to start to look pretty parabolic. Moves like that are what I would be expecting to happen over the next few months. But over the next few weeks, I think we can get back up to 13 something on Bitcoin. So definitely want to build this account back up so I can leverage trade Bitcoin beyond the amount of Bitcoin physical asset that I hold currently. But that's the move with Bitcoin. And I did take a look at GBP USD. Right, something like that is what I expect to happen. We took out, we basically destroyed yesterday's highs and today's high. So, and we haven't been able to make it above this high, but that's basically where we want to go. If we do take out this current day's low, then something else may happen. But basically, this is a pretty nice and clean setup. I think something like this will happen and price will continue higher. We can see some kind of confluence happening with the fib as well. So seems pretty solid to me that we're gonna have a quick little down push and then an up push on GBP USD to keep going higher. Alright, with that being said, that's today's video, guys. Basically the MyFX book didn't refresh from the point where I lost that second trade. You can see buy order is still open on here, but that closed, we lost it. But yeah, so far EU, we've only traded that one time, but that really could have been a profitable trade. Didn't end up happening. GN's been pretty profitable for us, and now GU's starting to come up there as well. I really do primarily like to focus on GU and GJ. EU is possible to trade. Probably would have been possible to trade today as well. But yeah, that would have been a little bit more difficult. But once we broke this structure up here, we had this move right in here. You can see the retracement levels were there, right towards the end of the kill zone, giving you a pretty teeny tiny stop loss, and went straight to the take profit level that I'm usually looking for, which is that -50 level. Yeah, so that would have been like a 1-3, 1-4 trade. But yeah, it's pretty solid all across the board. ICT strategies all across the board, whichever one you use, whatever one you find comfortable with. You can see this was pretty simple on the fib as well. Refilling this imbalance, this giant push up to come back, mitigate some of that out, and push back up. But yeah, once again, if you guys are not following ICT, or if you are following ICT and somehow you stumbled across this video, and you're studying him, hit me up on Instagram or whatever, and we could study together or whatever, back test together, bounce ideas off of each other based on what he's doing, at least with his free content. I'm not a part of his mentorship yet, and I don't think, I think he's closed it for now, but I'm not sure about that, so I don't want to speak on that. But basically all his free stuff is more than enough, I think, in terms of how many different trade entries, different trade styles, different examples that he gives, that you can learn from once you kind of understand the basics, and then get into this smart money style of trading. But that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you guys liked it, go ahead and like it, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang. Let's see what we can do, and hopefully this is helping some of you guys as well. Peace.